So do you also want to generate real-time analytics report and send it towards your clients? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to generate real-time analytics reports using AI agent automatically. So like you, I also used to generate all the reports manually, but this is such a time-consuming and a tedious task. And to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the details into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent is going to create a report, and further we are just going to send that report to our client using Gmail. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, OpenAI and Gmail. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video I'll walk you through how to build an AI powered system that generates real-time reports for you and your clients. So you simply have to enter the client name, the campaign name, and then the client email address, then the weekly highlights and the challenges or notes, and automatically a mail will be sent towards your client. So yes, I'm just going to open my Gmail and I'm just going to refresh it right over here to check that if we have received the new mail or not. Using these details only a report will be generated, and that report will be sent towards your client on Gmail. So I'm just going to open my Gmail and I'm just going to refresh it right from here to check for the new mail. And over here you can see a new mail has been received. So I'm just going to open it, and over here you can see, Dear Fit Fusion Labs team, I hope this message find you well. I'm reaching out with an update on our summer promo SEO campaign. So yes, you can see that this is the same campaign name and also this is the same client name. So over here you can see a report has been generated and mailed towards my client, that too without any manual efforts and in real time and within seconds. So yes, this is no magic. This is the power of automation, which we're just going to learn in today's video. That whenever you enter all of these details, automatically a report will be mailed towards your client, which is the weekly report. So yes, you can also create this automation, but for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we are just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on the sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because I want to connect different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once I'm just going to click on this access, now it is opening my dashboard, and to get started I'm simply going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I've already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as this: generate real-time analytics reports using an AI agent. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. I'm just going to get a webhook URL. So we are just going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. So what we have to do is we simply have to copy this webhook URL and then we have to open our spreadsheet. And now from here we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks, and over here we're just going to add this extension in my spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So as you can see that I have already installed this extension in my spreadsheet, so that's the reason that it is giving me the option of uninstall. But if you haven't install this, you're definitely going to get the option of install right over here, and you can install this extension from here. I have already installed this, and now after installing this, you simply have to refresh your spreadsheet. So it is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet. Otherwise, you'll not be able to get the option of this Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this Pabbly Connect webhooks option, you simply have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then towards this initial setup. Alright, and now I'm simply going to enter the webhook URL right over here, which I copied from my workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is E. So the trigger column will be your final data column, on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. And the trigger column will be according to your spreadsheet only. For me, it is E. For you, it can be D, C, or something else too. And after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit. And once I'm just going to click on this submit, it is saying setup configured successfully. With this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So to do this test submission, what we have to do is we have to go towards this extensions Pabbly Connect webhooks, and we simply have to switch on this button which is send on event. So it is a really important step to switch on this button, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that whenever a new event is going to occur in your spreadsheet, automatically the flow is going to get started. Now after switching on this button, I'm just going to do the test submission. For that, I'm just going to enter the client name, the campaign name, the client email, the weekly highlights, and the challenges or notes. And once I'm just going to enter all of these details, with this we have successfully completed the test submission. And now what has happened is that Google Sheets has sent the details of our test submission towards our workflow, and over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. So yes, now I'm just going to use these details only in order to generate the report. Alright, so for that, I'm just going to use my AI agent, right? And for that, I'm just going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it. Now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. Now it is asking me for the token, and to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key that I need to enter here. And after coming over here towards this page, we are simply going to go towards this create new secret key button. We are just going to name our key. Now I'm just going to select the project and click on this create secret key button. And now my key has been created. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're just going to paste this key right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this key, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save, and with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4 only. You can select any other of your choice. And now I'm just going to enter my prompt right over here. So as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and I'm just going to add the details of my client right over here. But we're not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of a trigger application only. And as soon as we're just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So first I'm just going to map the client name, then I'm just going to map the campaign name right over here. We're just going to move on further. I'm just going to map the weekly highlights, and at last I'm just going to map the notes right over here or the challenges. And after mapping all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the mail which I'm just going to send towards my client. So yes, we don't have to do anything, we just have to wait for a few seconds. And as you can see, the mail has been generated, but it has also given the subject, and I don't want this subject. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to edit this prompt a little, and I'm just going to clearly mention that do not give me the subject. And once again, after editing this prompt, I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request. So if you also don't receive your desired response, you can also edit a prompt a little and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, automatically my AI agent is going to give me another response. And over here you can see that in this message content we don't have received the subject. So yes, you can see that now we have successfully successfully received the mail body which I want to send towards my client. So to send them, I'm simply going to add another action step. Now I'm just going to select the action application as Gmail right over here. So I'm just going to search for Gmail and select it. And this time for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as send email v2. So over here, I'm just going to select it and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection once again. So if you have already connected your Gmail account with the Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now you have to click on this blue button which says connect with Gmail. And now I'm just going to select my Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Gmail account and send mails. And then I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And once I'm just going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully connected our Gmail account, and now it is asking me for the recipient email address. So I'm simply going to map the email address of my client and move on further. Now for CC and BCC, if you wish, you can definitely add the email addresses, but this is not the required field. So I'm just going to leave it as blank. I'm just going to select the sender's email. I'm just going to enter the sender's name right over here, and I'm just going to move on further. Now it is asking me for the email subject. So yes, now I'm just going to simply enter my subject. So over here for the subject, what I want is I'm just going to add a text which is this, and this will remain static. And now I'm just going to map the campaign name right over here. So I'm simply going to map the campaign name and move on further. Now it is saying reply to, so no, this email is not a reply email, so I'm simply going to leave it as blank. It is saying email content types over here. I'm just going to select it as plain. It is asking me for the email content, so I'm simply going to map the content which my AI agent generated. Now it is asking me for many other details, so all of these details are not the required details, so I'm just going to leave it as blank. And now I'm just going to click on the save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, automatically a mail will be sent towards my client. So yes, we have received the positive response that we have successfully sent this mail. So I'm just going to open my Gmail account and check for the mail received. So I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to refresh it right over here. And as you can see, a new mail has been received currently. Over here you can see weekly summary email plus ad campaign. Over here you can see dear Bloomwell team, I hope this message find you well. And over here you can see the full summary, or you can see the report. Weekly report has been sent to my client via this mail. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and like I showed in the starting of this video, whenever I'm just going to enter all of these details right over here in my spreadsheet, automatically my flow is going to get triggered. My AI agent is going to generate me the report, and further we are just going to send them report towards our client on mail. So yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.